red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news. Just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it. Plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. See my voice is in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the ladies in red.
Hi guys, welcome back to Ladies in Red. We're back with another show, back with another special guest, and I'm going to start with introducing the new face you can see on the channel. Obviously, it's not your first time, but it's your first time you've been on a panel show like this, Brush. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. How are you doing?
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolute pleasure to get you on. Looking forward to hearing some more of your opinions. And of course, we've got the regular, we've got Zio joining us, sneezing away there, blessing, but commitment as always. Zio, thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Yeah, not great, sneezing away like you said, but yeah, always happy to come on here, so thanks for having me again.
Absolute pleasure as always. Now, we can smile because that game at the weekend against Leeds, we came out with a win, some goals as well. We did predict there'd be a few goals in it. There was. I was gutted. I was on my semi-final, and the chairman and whatnot are always keeping track of the scores because I know that obviously if I'm missing a United game, I want to know what's going on. And they were saying like 2-0. Last thing he's saying, next thing I know, 2-2. I was like, what? Well, what? I was thinking, how's this happened? Obviously, I've watched the game back afterwards and whatnot. For the neutral, all I'm going to say, it must have been such an entertaining game as a United fan and as a Leeds fan. Absolutely horrible. But to come out with a win, obviously, was the most important thing. And I'll start with you, Zio, on this one. Like, how did you summarise that game? What did you think of it?
It was typical how United are at the moment. We can't seem to keep people out. It was like all the other games where we seem to draw 1-1, but it's Leeds, so we always score loads against Leeds. That's the only way I can explain it. It was really strange. Like, I'm not too excited about it because it was Leeds, and we always get a full sense of security after playing Leeds, thinking, oh, we can beat anyone. But they scored 2 against us. They came back 2-2. Like, it was a bit worrying for me, but I'm happy with the result and the 3 points. But it doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence after that game, even though it was a 4-2. It's not a normal 4-2 for me.
Yeah.
That's the best way I could explain it.
I think you're right in terms of Leeds. The way that they play, they're so open. They allow the opposition to get chances, don't they? And luckily, we took our chances. There were a few more chances that we probably should have taken as well. You think of the Elanga one, the Sancho one as well. But you can only beat what's in front of you. We beat Leeds, and we can only take confidence from that. Obviously, being at Ellen Road in the manner that it was as well, the animosity, like it was obviously very tense. The crowd were obviously very irate as you would expect in that fixture. But like I say, I think to come back, it does show character from the players. When it went to 2-2, I feared the worst. I'll be honest. I was thinking next thing I'm going to hear is we're losing 3-2. That I'm used to seeing that from this United side. But we did it. We came back. We bounced back. We scored 2 more goals. Like I say, it could have been 4 more goals. You kind of beat what's in front of you, Brush, can't you? Like, what did you think about it?
Yeah, so the first half, I was actually quite surprised that we went 2-0 ahead because for large parts of that first half, I was quite disappointed. I was kind of confused as to how we took a 2-goal lead, to be honest, at half time. And then based on what we've seen over the last month or so, it was all about, how are we going to come out for the second half and can we keep this lead? And then, it all went out the window, didn't it? But I think we showed great character to come back. I was really happy for Ralph as well. Like many of you guys, I was shouting at my screen when I saw that Pogba was coming off. But, credit to Ralph. The changes worked.
And Fred.
Yeah.
And credit to Fred. Like,
credit to Fred.
I'm sure he wasn't brought on to get a goal, but he did. And fair play to him, that little overlapping run. Great finish as well from him. Loving the clip of him and Elanga dancing afterwards and stuff like that. Like, Fred, don't get me wrong, we get a Fred ache sometimes, we say it. But it genuinely is a good guy. He works his socks off for the team, and he's one of them that you always want to see do well. So I was absolutely buzzing to see that he came on and got the goal as well. I've already mentioned Sancho having a chance, but his form is promising lately, isn't it? Sancho feels like he's really settling now at United, and he's starting to prove his worth a little bit more. Zio, would you agree with that?
Yeah, Sancho looks like he's finally warming into it, taking on players. The footwork's looking good. The one-touch passing and everything's looking good. It's come at a perfect time, really, because I feel like the other players that are playing up there with him ain't really doing as well. So it's like Sancho's becoming our star in the front line. So it's like he's done it at the perfect time. And I still think there's loads to see with him. I still think he's proper warming in. I think next season Sancho will be even better. Basically, I think he's still not proper used to it yet. Oh my God, my nose. Sorry.
No, it's all right, and I have to agree. And I think with Sancho as well, you kind of forget how young he is. The fact that he went out to Dortmund and obviously killed it over in Germany, I think it kind of is a disillusion. Like you think he's a bit older than he actually is. So he's always going to take him a bit of time, wasn't it, Bruce, to settle and to find his feet, if you like, at United. But have you been impressed with him lately?
Absolutely. We've seen it with Kai Havertz as well. And, when players come from the Bundesliga to this league, it does take time for them to adjust. With Sancho, for me, I didn't really have any concerns. We know his quality. It was just about him getting game time and having a consistent run. And we're starting to see that now. I think the one surprising thing, though, is that we probably expected him to be on the right. And he settled quite nicely into that left-hand side. But either or, I'm quite comfortable with him in the team, and I've got no concerns about his future.
Yeah, and what I like about him as well is in that final third, how many times have you seen players just the decision making in that final third is just off? That
Oh,
final
so
pass just isn't good
it's
enough.
so refreshing because he actually looks up.
Exactly. He makes those right decisions. We've lacked that.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about him. His composure in that final third as well. I'm sure more goals will come with that as well. He seems to be finding pockets of space now. I watched Match of the Day for the first time in God knows how long the other day because I just could. And they're on about how he hugs the touchline, how he likes to stay out wide. And in doing that, obviously, he's able to find space. And you want to see Sancho running at players. I don't know how many times we've said we miss seeing Rashford do that, getting the ball and being direct and running at players. Sancho is such a silky player, like his touch, his dribbling, his control. He can go either way. He's just an exciting player, and it just seems now, like I say, to be showing that form that we thought we were getting for 70 million. I've seen a few people saying 70 million seems like a bargain now. I'm not going to go that far, but I do think he is getting a lot better. Harry Maguire, got to talk about him because we finally broke the curse from a corner. I read a quote today saying that Bruno Fernandes was slapping him on the head and saying, "You scored with that big head of yours," or something like that, which made me laugh. But yeah, Harry Maguire scoring. I don't know about you lot, but I was really happy to see that. He's had a lot of stick, including from myself, because he hasn't been good enough. But to see him come out and score against Leeds in the manner that he did as well, and the slide was so cold as well, the way he turned towards the corner flag to show his shirt. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but yeah, I was really happy for him, Gio.
Did you see also that thing that he did with his friend?
Yeah, the little Photoshop in the crowd.
I didn't notice it. I was looking at the picture for ages, thinking, I don't get it. What is it? And then I seen someone say, "Who's this?" and put his head on someone else to tease his friend. That was funny. Hopefully, that is the sign of Harry Maguire starting to have fun again, and morale starting to lift, because I think Harry Maguire with good morale will be a good player. Harry Maguire with everyone on his back will make more and more mistakes. So hopefully that goal can lift him. And it was a good header, and I was happy to see, even though I still prefer Lindelof and Varane, but I think if this could be a stepping stone for Maguire, then I'm not going to complain, because it would be good to have 3 good centre backs. So yeah, hopefully it's a step in the right direction, and I'm happy for him and I'm happy for the team, and hopefully this is the sign of things to come. Goal from a corner, finally.
Let's not forget though, in the Euros, how good Maguire was, how good Luke Shaw was. You don't turn a bad player overnight. Do you know what I mean? I think the form that he's been at United, don't get me wrong, he deserves the abuse that he's had because he hasn't been good enough. He deserves the criticism. And I'm sure he knows, he ain't stupid, he knows that he wasn't good enough. And he hasn't been. But maybe that goal now will push him on, because like I say, that form of the Euros, if we can get that form from Harry Maguire at club level, I'm sure a lot of his critics will hush a bit because he was outstanding.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, whether it's a hangover from that or whatever, for Manchester United, he just simply hasn't been good enough. And you think about, obviously, the price that we paid for him as well, it's always going to get dragged up. But he hasn't been playing like an £80 million centre-back, has he? Let's be honest. So that's where the criticism, he deserved it. But if you can't be happy to see your captain, a player who's had a lot of struggles this season, scoring a goal against Leeds, then I don't know what you can be happy with. Do you know what I mean? I was buzzing for him. I don't know about you, Brush, but I was buzzing for him.
I was very happy that he scored, but ultimately he is a defender, and I like my defenders to defend first.
Of course, yeah. It's not. You couldn't even say we relied on him in set pieces. We ain't been doing that until the other day.
What keeps playing back in my mind is the Southampton game and how Brozier left him.
Please don't.
But the only way is up, isn't it? I mean, yeah, I'm not a fan of just going in on our players for the sake of it, especially now where there's literally no option till the summer at least. So we've got to encourage him and push him on and hope that we get the best out of him. In the summer, I think there is a conversation to be had.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Mings looks like Maldini. I'm just saying that I love the Villa. you know my thoughts on Mings anyway, but yeah, I don't looks like Maldini. Slabhead is different animal to Maguire. It's a different guy altogether. So he's got like a split personality, Jekyll and Hyde. Then you got Slabhead, who's like Euros form. Then you got Maguire, which is what we've been dealing with. Hopefully we see more of Slabhead. Then that would be nice. Maguire stepped up on Sunday, but also Lindelof too. Lindelof's run from the back, the driving runs, that was kind of the key to unlock their defence, wasn't it? The defenders bringing the ball out from the back, obviously dragging one of their forwards out, creating the spaces. I don't know about you lot, but I want to see more of that from Lindelof. Lindelof is a good ball player, but he always seems a bit hesitant. I think when he does stride forward from the back, he can be really effective. I mean, you know what? To be fair, we don't see it, but he also can shoot, Lindelof. He scored a few belters before we signed him. I know that. And we have never seen that side to it as well. Would you like to see that a bit more, Brush? Our centre-backs maybe driving out with it? 'Cause it worked against Leeds. Obviously, it won't work a bit against everybody. But
Absolutely.
it was refreshing to see that.
It's about choosing your opponent to do it against, though. In a well-worked system, it's fine. But, there's a few things that we need to iron out first. Lindelof, for me, is our second best centre-back. The only issue that I really have with him is his lack of aggression. He's a bit too standoffish sometimes in one-on-one situations, and it lets him down.
Yeah, and we always said the physicality of him in the Champions League, those games seem to suit him a lot more as opposed to the physical games.
He's got more of that.
I think about the games against
like
West Brom, for example, where he got bullied by a big centre forward. That European style exactly suits him in the Champions League. But yeah, Lindelof is a quality player. I feel a bit sorry for him with the different partners that he's had in centre back as well. And as we know, Maguire is always going to be kind of tipped first, and Varane, you think once fit, he's going to be the next one in there. But as Theo said, it's nice to have quality centre backs fit and ready to come on. Whoever starts, we've got fit replacements ready to come on. But yeah, Atletico is going to be a tough game, and obviously we're going to get onto that now. Leeds, we've already said, brilliant, and hopefully a good morale booster going into this game today. But we can't be disillusioned, we can't be complacent. Leeds are a very different animal to Atletico and how they play. Zio, how are you feeling going into it? Are you feeling confident, or are you different? This one could be a bit of a tough game because they're never easy to play. Are the Simeone teams are never easy.
I'll say I'm super excited because it's a proper tough test, and I love Atletico Madrid. If I lived in Spain, I would want to support them. They're just a battling team. I really love the way they play. They're I feel like I can't say the word because it's swearing. Them teams that want to break you. They're just
Burnley, like the Burnley of Spain.
Blah blah housery, blah blah housery. I feel like that's what Atletico Madrid are. So I think it's going to come down to it. I think McTominay has to play because he's one of our only players that plays that way. Where if
do you think he should have got sent off against Leeds? I'm going to throw that to both of you. Do you think he should have got sent off?
No.
I think our bias comes into there definitely.
I think he was a lucky boy. I'm going to say he was a lucky boy. I think if it's Mike D and he's giving that, because we know he likes to be controversial, I think it depended on the ref, the individual ref, and luckily that ref let quite a few challenges go, especially from Scott McTominay. But the one where he stood on top of, I think it was third post foot, for me, he's very lucky not to get a second yellow card for that one. But of course, we'll stay biased and we'll say, no, the ref was completely spot on with that one. No wrongdoing there. So you say McTominay should start. Who would you have partnering then in that midfield, Joe?
Oh, don't ask me that. Jeez.
Pogba. You're going to say Pogba.
Yeah, Pogba has to play. If we want to score goals, Pogba has to play. McTominay has to play if we want to fight them back because they're going to try and bully us. So
he scored 2 when Pogba went off the other day, though.
I know, but
I'm just throwing that in there just to try and sway you from your Pogba.
That was because of the pitch, the waterlogged pitch.
No, you know what? Pogba in that first half, I thought he was outstanding. He was outstanding. He saw some
he's come back,
little skills, and
since he has come back, if that guy played like that all the time, Man United fans are Man United fans, so they'll still moan. But I would argue with everybody on the planet if they tried to tell me anything about Pogba if he played like that all the time. He has to play. Yeah. When he subbed him off, I literally thought it was to a risk for injury because of how the pitch was. And Pogba was still dribbling and stuff and thinking that he's going to get hurt. That's what I thought it was, but obviously it was something more tactical. So yeah, it did. I'm super excited for this game. I think we can win it. I think it's going to come down to how much fight we have. And I think Ronaldo is going to be super important. I think McTominay is going to be super important. And that's as far as I'm going to go. I'm not sure about the rest, but yeah, I'm super excited. It's out of all the teams to play, this is the team that I'm most scared of.
Okay. Brush, what midfield combo would you go for?
Yeah, like Zio said, Pogba has to start for me, and then we haven't got any other options, have we? So Scotty's there.
It could have been Fred.
Well, I mean, he'll bring the energy off the bench, won't he? So
yeah,
Matic.
Do you think that kind of role suits Fred though? You know what I mean? Coming on
It
from the
does.
bench,
It does.
covering when the other team are tired as well. You're seeing how he can get forward like he did against Leeds when they were on their last legs. Like I think that role could suit Fred a bit more. I do agree. I think McTominay, his fight that he brings in there, they're a very physical team, Atletico. I would rather see McTominay start. But did you see the bruising on his foot that he posted after the game?
Yeah, it was horrid.
Yeah, so
yeah.
hopefully he's all right because he's
He'll play
bad.
anyway. He'll take
battering.
painkillers.
Yeah, he's a soldier, isn't he?
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
only
so you
Matic
take-
was younger.
Yeah.
True. So what would you do, Bruce? Then you say Pogba in there. Would you go McTominay or Fred
Yeah,
next to him? Or
Yeah,
Matic?
up. Scotty would be next to him for me.
Yeah.
For this game, I'm going it with the mentality of expect nothing and you won't be disappointed. I can only
Look, I
be
like
pleasantly
that.
surprised.
Like a tattoo. I like that.
Yeah, no, because obviously it's very easy to look at Atletico's league form and get gassed up because they've been atrocious in their league. I don't know what Jan Oblak's been going through, but it's like what De Gea got struck with for a couple of years. But then we also have a habit of making all goalkeepers in the world, look like absolute world beaters. I just hope it doesn't happen tomorrow.
And they're looking at our form as well and probably thinking the same thing. Yeah, we got a good win at the weekend, but we've been very inconsistent ourselves. So you kind of argue form probably goes out the window in the Champions League. That this
Yeah,
Champions
that
League is
too.
different gravy, isn't it?
And also Simeone's teams, the way they set up as well. I call them Gucci Burnley. They're difficult to play against. And they've got individuals of real quality as well who, can cause us problems. The likes of your Griezmann, the Angel Correas, Suarez, even at his old age. He's still, you don't lose that technical ability.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Alex said here, De Gea, he'd start de low. Lindelof, Varane, Telles, McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho, Elanga, Ronaldo. A very nice team, but I don't see those changes coming in.
That won't be the team.
Wan-Bissaka, you know what? We'll get onto the Wan-Bissaka debate and Delo because we looked at this weekly conversation about these two, Zio. To be fair, Wan-Bissaka got the nod at the weekend ahead of Delo, and I thought it was one of his better games for a long, long time. There's a little clip of him falling off the ball and whatnot and being Wan-Bissaka, but other than that, I thought he had a fairly solid game. Zio, how would you round it up? Because I know you much prefer him over Delo.
I do prefer him over Delo. I still will admit he doesn't offer nothing going forward. Like there was some times when he was like in crossing position and he was passing it back. But I'd rather that and a better player cross it in because he's passed it to Bruno or Pogba than Delo blast it clean over everybody out for a throw-in or whatever. Because that's what keeps happening. If people watch Delo, he crosses it, yes, but it goes over everybody every single time. So Wan-Bissaka, for me, it's just better at the back for us, and until we can get a better right back in, better than both of them that can offer more going forward and defend well, I think we need the security at the back, and I think that's what Wan-Bissaka offers more so than Defoe. I was going to say than Delo.
Defoe right back, yeah, why not? Now, to be fair, Bruce touched on it earlier. Ultimately, he's a defender. I know obviously you want these attacking fullbacks, but against teams like Atletico, where it is going to be quite tight, you do want your defence, obviously, at the end of the day, can win your titles. So you want to be able to try and secure that, especially with the individual players that they've got. What was your thoughts on Wan-Bissaka's performance? Obviously, he ain't played for quite a while now, to be fair. He was just kind of put out in the cold. Delo obviously took his chances well. But were you happy to see him starting?
Rocking a hard place, Soph. Ultimately, we need an upgrade in the summer.
Definitely. Who would you like?
Honestly, it's one of those questions where I look at both of them and it's like asking me, would I rather get punched in the throat or kicked in the jaws?
So, yeah, which one though?
Neither, ideally. Ideally, neither. No, I thought he had a decent game. But yeah, like you say, there's always that one moment with Wan-Bissaka where he gets clipped and I feel bad for him.
Yeah. But it's worrying that there's one of them every game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And, I tried to look at it from the perspective of, yes, it was a waterlogged pitch as well, and it did make it difficult, but yeah.
But there's one clip, to be fair, where he flew into 4 or 5 tackles in the corner.
You
know what I mean? And that's the one that I like, because 1v1, it's very rare you can beat him. Say you've got Inspector Gadget next to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing that we've all just, highlighted in terms of the main quality that he has. It's always been the other parts of his game that, we've questioned.
So who are you picking? You haven't said who you picking out of them two?
I'm probably going Wan-Bissaka, against them because I think we need to be more defensively solid.
Sophie?
Yeah, Bush even said though if we could have neither, he would.
Yeah.
You can't be bragging too much.
What's
That, to be fair,
what's Ethan Lade saying? Let's bring him back.
exactly.
Give him a go.
Exactly, I totally agree. But in terms of right backs in the summer, I keep saying this, but Lamptey is one that I think we should be looking at. And I know he's not again not the
Yes.
finished article, but I think he's one that we'll regret if we don't snap up because he
The
just seems
only
to be getting better and
concern,
better.
again, the only concern I have with Lamptey is obviously his injury record. If you could stay injury free, he looked absolute quality. He was tearing us apart.
Yeah, and he has been, to be fair, this season for Brighton. Obviously, a good outfit this season, and he's been one of their bright sparks. And I just think he's quality. But again, is he one that you bring straight in and he automatically starts? Probably not. He's more of a project player as well. So yeah,
And
interesting on the
again,
right
he's
back.
young, he's English. The tax is going to be there. The money's going to be huge.
Yeah, so I just really like him, but I don't think we'll end up getting him. We need a right back for now, don't we? But again, when you think about who's out there, who do we want right now, I can't give you an answer to that, to be honest. Like, not available. Do you know what I mean? So it's an interesting one.
And when we look at the really elite ones, they're already at top clubs and on big money. So it's
I was thinking about this the other day.
Would have been outstanding.
I was thinking about this the other day, and I was thinking, you know what? If we keep Ralph and get Ten Hag, we might end up with some right back that we've never even heard of. So
I don't mind that as long as
neither do I. And I'm hoping that's what happens. We get some CDM and some right winger, and we never heard of these. Let's see how they do, and they just turn out to be world beaters. I'm just because that's what these guys are going to know what players are in countries that we don't even look at since we had Solskjaer because we was on this English thing. So that's what I was thinking about it the other day, and I'm hoping that's what type of direction we're going in.
And that's exactly where we need to be. How many of us knew about Nemanja Vidic before he arrived?
Exactly.
That's
what I mean. We used to do that, and now it's like we don't. We miss out on all these youngsters, and we see other teams, our rivals, signing them. Do you know what I mean? So, fingers crossed we can get back up there.
What did you do?
Foden. Have you not seen it?
No.
So basically, he went to the Kelbrook fight at the weekend. There was some kind of argument broke out. These people were recording him, shouting him from I think it was like an exclusive suite in there. His mom comes out to confront them, says like F off, basically, leave us alone. And then one of the male, she went to push them away, and one of the males punched his mom in his face. So then Foden's come out. To be fair, Brush, do you want to enlighten the Foden didn't do a lot from what I saw.
No, it was the whole thing was just messed up, wasn't it? Should never have happened in the first place.
Exactly. It's just
punched his mom in the face.
Yeah. And Foden basically came out and said a few things. I didn't see Foden do anything. It's more the people he was with.
He came out and said, I would have come out like this. Like, what do you mean?
Exactly, it's his mom.
Ain't saying nothing.
Yeah, the whole thing was crazy.
No words are coming out my mouth.
I think for me, it's one of these where they're already recording it beforehand. They're trying to get some kind of retaliation from Foden. You know what it's like. They want to try and get a bit of dough from it. I don't fault him. I don't fault him at all for what happened. I feel a bit sorry for him, to be fair. I think he was targeted.
Yeah, the only thing so far was, I was surprised they didn't just close the door behind them, when they walked into that room. Because obviously these people are after a reaction, aren't they?
You punched the man's mom. With his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the mum did come out and push him, but you still don't punch his mum in the face.
No, but still, you don't retaliate like that. That's crazy.
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So that's my thoughts on it. I don't really think he was in the wrong. I think he was targeted. I agree. Maybe could have been dealt with a bit differently by shutting the door. It's what it is.
But it's a split second decision as well, isn't it? So it's easy for me to sit here and say that, but in the moment, people are human.
Exactly, people are human, and you're going to defend your family. Do you know what I mean? So, but you mentioned Atletico. Who do you fear most? I'll start with you. Like, out of their squad, who do you fear most tomorrow?
I fear the strikers against Harry Maguire. I fear Griezmann and I fear Suarez. I know Suarez is old, but I feel like he's still gonna twist Harry Maguire left, right, upside down, inside out. I feel like that's what I worry about. So hopefully we score more than they do. That's what I'm saying.
Crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed we do. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a tight game. I think you got Felix, Griezmann, Suarez, of course. Are the three ones that I mainly would say I'm worried about because they're big game players. You'd think for them. Brush, what's your thoughts on it? Like, who do you fear the most out of their squad? Look, at the end of the day, they're going to be a good unit, aren't they?
All the guys that you mentioned, but also Angel Correa. He's one that sort of goes under the radar, but he's quite integral to the way they play.
Yeah, definitely. I forgot to mention Correa. But at the end of the day, like I think you mentioned earlier, this game there's going to be a lot of fight in it.
Yeah.
They're quite a physical outfit, so even though we're talking about the technical players that we've got and they've got, it's going to come down to who wants it more. which is why for me, McTominay has to start in that middle because he offers that. Score predictions then, guys. How are you feeling going into it? I'll start with Zio. And in the chat as well, let me know yours.
We are going to win.
Confidence.
2-1.
Okay.
I didn't say 4. No, I didn't say 4.
Okay, 2-1. You know what? I'll be honest, that's what I predicted. That's what I've said. 2-1. Brush, what's yours?
Listen, I've been avoiding this question like Neo does bullets all week long. in my head, yeah, 2-1 is what came to mind. But
2-1.
Yeah.
A few people saying 2-0. We'll keep it
Everyone's
clean
saying
sheet.
2-1.
Nice.
It's not going to happen. Oh, jeez.
2-2. I wouldn't even. It's one of them where I could not unsee a draw.
What do you guys make as well of the removal of away goals?
Oh, it's
I
annoying.
hate it.
Yeah.
It was put in for a reason, wasn't it? It was put in for a reason.
Yeah, for me, it totally changes the dynamic of a two-legged tie, like from a tactical perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just fear now that teams playing away are just going to set up to defend.
Yes.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
keep
That's
it
what I mean.
tight.
It's less exciting. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas before, I'd rather go away with like a 2-1 defeat away from home than lose 1-0.
Totally
Yeah.
agree. Totally agree. So just did that. Nad said 3-1 to United, 2-2, 2-1 Atletico, 2-1 to United too. Very mixed, to be fair. Very mixed. I'm going to go 2-1 to United as well. I'm hoping it's an exciting game. Guys, I will be on Live Score. The app is on YouTube as well. Doing a live watch along for that tomorrow from London. So obviously come and tune in if you can. Hopefully it's an entertaining one to watch. You can see me. Hopefully I'm not looking nervous like I was for the Europa League final for the entire stream. We shall see. Now, I hate the fact the away goals. I completely agree with Bruce as the games will be far more boring and frustrating. No away goals in the Champions League this season. I love the removal of away goals. It makes it exciting and teams need to go for it and force extra time. There is that. Do you think it makes teams go for it a bit more, especially in that second game?
I think
I like the fact that you still had a chance with the away goals rule. Like say, if you got the loss in that first game, you still had a chance.
That's what I mean. It made it on eggshells type of thing. Like, oh, if they score one more, then the next team needs to score 2. It just made it like, oh my God, if they score, they've got the away goal type of thing. I feel like, oh, if they score, equalising, it goes to extra time. Doesn't feel the same. Teams really go for it thinking we can't take this to extra time because if they score, it doesn't go to extra time. We lose. We need to score again type of thing. Blah, blah. Like, I don't like it, but we'll see. I think they'll end up putting it back in because I think after two seasons, you're going to be like, nah, this is dead.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Zio. That's what I feel as well. I think, over time, they'll probably realise their mistake and change it. A bit like the Premier League did with our early closure of the transfer window in the summer.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was quite silly at the time. I was like, why are you shooting
dumb.
yourselves in the foot?
Yeah, that's so dumb.
It was stupid. It was stupid. And hopefully, like, other rules will change as well, like the handball one, for example.
Oh, my God.
You know what still annoys me now? And I get what they do, but the linesman delaying the flag as well. Like, the wait sometimes for an eternity. And I'm thinking, did you really have to wait that long? Like, do you know what I mean? Sometimes I get it if it's like immediately after the ball goes in the net, I get it. But sometimes they literally let the player run a half of a pitch to retrieve a ball. And then do you know what I mean? And I'm thinking, maybe they pulled a hamstring then on the way or whatever, or there was a tackle that went flying in. Like, you never know, someone could get hurt from it. That just annoys me. When everyone
I'd rather go back
to
all the mistakes in football, put everything back to how it was, and just have
we
all the
can
mistakes.
argue again about whether it's onside or offside. Ultimately, it still comes down to human error.
I say that, but you know what I always look back to? Porto in 2004. When Scholes scored and it was wrongly given offside.
Yeah.
If that didn't happen, we may never have had to know the man that is Jose Mourinho.
Yeah. True.
So
Alex said,
that is the cost of these mistakes.
Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. He said, should the Champions League final be moved from St. Petersburg? What do you guys think?
Oh yeah, with regards to everything that's happening in Ukraine right now.
Ukraine and Russia, obviously, at the minute.
Yeah, it's all a bit of a madness, isn't it? Yeah, they might have to review that.
Where would you have it then, if he had to move it, like by choice? You know what I mean?
England.
Listen,
they're not going to do that. Like the Euros, we had a clear pathway.
Listen, I've got a big smile on my face because immediately in my head I have to get Old Trafford.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Then again, we're better away from home probably lately, so probably not. But no, I think because obviously Wembley, they gave England pretty much a free run to the final. Like most games are at Wembley, the final was at Wembley. I don't think they're going to do that. A lot of complaints about the fact that we were deemed having an advantage in that sense. So I don't know. It's interesting.
I
But
think
it's a
it
good
will stay
question.
there.
though.
I think it will stay there. I think you talking in vain. It's going to stay there. That's what I think.
Yeah, hopefully
Nothing like-
things will calm down and they'll reach some sort of solution. But at the moment, it does look quite bad. In terms of stadiums, I quite like the San Siro. So
Yeah.
that would be a
Good
nice
luck, yeah.
place for it to be held, especially with it being they're going to knock it down in a few years, aren't they? They're rebuilding.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're modernising it and whatnot.
yeah,
so
yeah,
that's still
but
like
that's
a
a
classic
proper
like,
historic-
nostalgia. Yeah.
Proper historic stadium. That
Yeah, it's not a bad shape to be fair. Zio, I'm going to ask you this because I did. Did you feel an earthquake yesterday?
I'm not in Wolves.
I know you're not in Wolves, but I don't know if you felt it where you are. 'cause
What
a lot of
time was it?
Different areas. About 11:15 last night.
I was fast asleep. Got a baby.
I was playing FIFA and I was just like, I felt a bit weird for a few seconds and I was thinking, what? And
Was
then
it
my
bad?
mate messaged him and was like, did you feel like earthquake then? I was like, I thought something was weird. Like I thought it was a washing machine or something just rumbling in the kitchen.
Was
I'll
it
be
bad?
honest. Nah, it was like literally for a few seconds, but it was just a bit weird. Like,
You remember
yeah, I was
many
thinking-
years ago we had one. I think I was about 13 or something. The last
Yeah,
time we
yeah.
had one. I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that too. And that little hurricane we had as well at some point in Birmingham.
Rush, what city are you in?
I'm in London,
Okay.
so we've
You
just
didn't
been
feel it?
having. Yeah, no, we haven't had any earthquakes. Luckily, we've just had the wind and rain last couple of days.
Yeah, it's been mad, isn't it? Storm after storm. Now World War III's trending, and then we had an earthquake in Birmingham, and I was thinking, what?
So it's only
Like-
local like that.
Yeah, like Wolves, Wednesbury, Warsaw, Birmingham, like people like
nuts.
that were all saying they felt it.
That
So,
is
in
are
the
you
head
sure
for
it
it.
wasn't just your Rumble pack on the controller?
Sure. I went straight on Twitter and I searched it, and other people were saying it, and I was thinking, oh, thankfully it's not just me who felt that. You know what I mean? So I did think that, but no, it wasn't just me. But yeah, it's just a bit of a mad thing. But yeah, guys, this has been a great show. Thank you so much to both of you for joining me. Everyone in the chat, appreciate it. Alex, thank you for the super chats as well. I really appreciate that. Brush, let people know they can find you on social so they can give you a little follow.
You can find me on Twitter at Brushy87, all capitals.
Make sure you go and follow Brush. Always tweeting about United and whatnot. So if you're a United fan, head over there. Go and check him out. Thank you, Brush, for coming on. I appreciate it. We'll definitely get you on more. Had some really good points. Zio, as always, thank you so much. Let people know where they can find you as well. Other way.
at Zio Leonardo on everything. YouTube, Twitter, whatever. Come and follow me. See what I do.
Make sure you definitely go and follow him. Check out his Taking Name shows as well. Brush has been there in the chat as well. They're really fun.
Oh, it's awesome, especially if United have had an absolute mare. Go join one of Zio's streams; he will cheer you up.
Definitely. And you see me and Brush in the chat putting some Man United lines in there as well, just because we can. But yeah, check it out. And obviously, if you haven't already, make sure you follow me, Soph with a kiss on the end of it on Instagram. Ladies in Red on YouTube, hit that sub if you're new as well. Like I said, I'm on live score tomorrow night, and then I'll be back on Friday with another stream on this channel. So until then, look after yourselves. Fingers crossed United get the win tomorrow. Take care.